let's move on to the NBA. Jimmy Butler, suspended. Look, champ, what's going on with your thing with guarding Jimmy Butler?
When you're a problem every single place you go, after a while, it's a pattern. I understand you want to win, but there's a way to do anything. And when you have problems in Philadelphia, you have problems in Minnesota, you have problems in Chicago, now you're having problems in Miami. It's kind of time to look at yourself. And I know fans are not going to agree with that because he's looking for a new contract, but you have to look at the facts. He's forced his way out of four franchises at this point. Out of four franchises at this point. Now that's on his side. On another side, on the Miami Heat, is I don't understand why you don't want to give the guy who led you, although you didn't win, to two NBA Finals appearances, one in the bubble and then another one. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to pay him. And sometimes you understand the logic because of his age. You don't know when it's going to decline. You don't know when the decline is going to happen. You don't want to sign anybody and be labeled into mediocrity. But at the end of the day, he still have some productive years left. It's up to you to decide that. But as far as Jimmy is concerned, I've always been a fan because of his tenacity, because of how he's old school basketball to a T. But when you constantly are forcing yourself out of franchises, out of Philly, out of Minnesota, out of Chicago, because remember, once Derrick Rose got traded, everybody thought that, okay, this is Jimmy's team now. In the great words of a famous movie, I'm the captain now. So everybody thought that, okay, he's going to lead this team to the next millennium. Like, no. And then he went to Philadelphia. No. Minnesota. No. I probably did that out of order, but still. Then now Miami. After a while, it's like, are you the problem or is it somebody else? And like I said, I understand the logic completely. You're trying to get a new contract. You've led this team. You've made something out of nothing many times on this team. But the thing is, there's a way to conduct yourself as a professional in this league. And to be honest with you, man, some of the things that I see, from guys like him, Embiid not wanting to play back to backs, certain stuff you see in the NBA, it's no wonder why a lot of the older generation, I would say, they call the NBA soft the way they do. Because the way some of these guys conduct themselves, doing certain things, it's very, very flabbergasting if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, it's time to do it. It's time to run a check. I can understand you wanting an extension, but there's a way to do anything. But that's all I got for that situation.
BRF. We're moving on to the NBA. Don't worry, we'll get your take on the Bills Chiefs game. But
Okay.
what are your thoughts about the whole thing regarding Jimmy Butler?
Whew, to be honest with you, like I really don't really know what's really going on with that. I've been trying to keep up with it. It's like, I don't know, trade him at this point. You don't want him though. He don't want to be though. Just do each other. Just trade him. Because all I hear about is he got suspended for these games, or he got suspended for these games. Like last time, it was he missed a team flight or whatever, and he got suspended for like 3 games or 4 games or whatnot. I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's like if y'all don't want him there, and if he doesn't want to be there, y'all need to come to some type of agreement. I mean, because I'm looking at it like,
Well, he did requested a trade earlier this month, and
true.
he owes. And I'm reading an article here from Sports Illustrated's Jake Elman. It says here, let me see if I have it. Oh yeah, one would think that more teams might show interest in acquiring the disgruntled Heat superstar. Butler requested a trade earlier this month and only has one more year under contract, albeit he owns a $52 million player option he can decline this summer.
Am I real? Am I really? Am I at this stage? At this stage, I think it's got to be like I don't know. Where would Jimmy Butler make sense? Everybody, honestly saying the Phoenix Suns, but honestly, I don't
Yes,
trust that. I don't trust. He would be a better fit for the Phoenix Suns than Bradley Beal. I'll say that much because Phoenix Suns they need defense, and when Jimmy Butler's on his A game, that's one thing he will do is give you a really good perimeter defender. But at the same time he's a two-way guy. He can give you the scoring on the opposite end of the floor as well. But who's really I don't know, man. A lot of times with the disgruntled players like that, it's a risk because you don't know his mindset. You don't know what he's going to be like coming into your situation. You don't know. That's why it's like I kind of look at it. I know Pat Riley was like, "Oh no, I'm not trading him." But it's like you know, at this point, only thing it's going to do is get more and more and more toxic. I mean, you gotta you can't keep suspending him. He's not playing. And then say if you did want to trade him, if you're not you're not gonna get you if you're shopping on the teams, what good is he on the bench if he's not playing and showcasing himself? I mean, I kind of get we kind of know what to expect as far as a Jimmy Butler is going, but I mean he's getting older, so it's like what do you do in a situation? What do you do in a situation like that? Like if like who like are you gonna be willing to give up draft assets for him, another player for him? Are you really ready to do that for a Jimmy Butler? And like you said, he's got the $52 million player option that he can decline. Like, whew, I don't know, man. That's a crazy situation, and that is one I am not. I am very glad that I am not in the camp of the Miami Heat front office having to make this decision because you kind of stuck between the rock and the hard place. You don't know what you want to do in a situation like this because Pat Riley said he doesn't want to. Honestly, I don't think Pat Riley wants to trade him. But if
he
he keeps
doesn't.
forcing your hand, yeah, Pat Riley, he don't want to trade him. But if he keeps forcing your hand, what are you to do? And it's only going to get worse. So what do you do in this situation? I feel like y'all need at some point you're going to have, come together, sit down, and just like let him lay out teams, and then just kind of go from there. You're gonna have to do something because it's only going to get worse.
Well, to Champ's point, he brought up other players. I mean, we saw this years ago with James Harden. Remember how James Harden tried to get himself out of Houston and then ended up going back to Brooklyn and then ended up
Right.
going to Philly. So we're kind of seeing this. The reason why I want to show a clip from Rachel Nichols, who's well known of the NBA, knows her basketball, knows her knowledge, excellent reporter. She had this to say regarding Jimmy Butler. Let me see if I have the video. Yep, I have it. And this is what she had to say regarding whether she said basically she isn't surprised many teams do not want Jimmy Butler. Let me see if I have. Yep, I have the video. Let me see if I can play it real quick.
And that this issue with Miami started over money. I mean, that's all it was about was money at the beginning. And now, of course, it's mushroomed into other things. Mm-hmm. But this was about money and feeling like he wasn't going to get paid enough.
It's still about money. I think if they offered him $113 million right now.
But here's the thing. Jimmy has made more than $400 million in his career. That's just crazy. On the court. So I added up all his salary just on the court. And then, of course, endorsements. Maybe even, I don't know if they doubled, but, yeah, well, the coffee, clearly. But, the shoe con, all the stuff, right? Yeah. He's been a very endorsable guy.
He's easily at $500 million.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth blowing up your relationship with your team and also your reputation in the NBA if you've already got that kind of money in the bank. But a guy who would do that, I would be reluctant to trade for, given all of those other factors. And I'm not surprised that a lot of other people are too. And by the way, there was an athletic report that in San Francisco, that's still where they play, the Golden State Warriors, who are sort of, in a lot of people's mind, a fit destination in terms of how he would work on the court, they don't seem interested. And that, a lot of it comes from, Yahoo Sports reported that was partly from Steph and Steve Kerr not thinking that he would be a good fit in the locker room. The culture of the Warriors has been such a key.
All right, guys, this is about it with regarding Rachel Nichols. And I do think she makes some good points regarding like what she said about the whole thing. And let me see if I can get it right here from the Sports Illustrated article. She said she estimated that Jimmy Butler has earned over $400 million, but according to Basketball Reference, it values that a total at roughly 264 million, while Spotrac listed Butler's earnings at 312 million. Either way, Jimmy Butler has a substantial amount of money. But here's the thing regarding with Jimmy Butler. He's told you that he's wanted out of Miami. I wish he could have handled the situation professionally behind closed doors, telling Pat Riley, if you're going to do that, have a private conversation with him face to face. Don't just air it out in front of the media and then have the media having the conversations. Another person that had a lot to say regarding the Jimmy Butler situation was one Carmelo Anthony. And he basically said, this is a quote. I think he said this on his podcast. He said, they going to Marbury you, meaning the Heat. They're going to Marbury you. They're going to tell you, don't even come around no more until we can figure out what's next. And when they do that, there's no other team you're going to. Anthony is referring to former All-Star guard Stephon Marbury's beef with the New York Knicks in the late 2000s. Marbury feuded with the three separate head coaches over minutes, poor performances, and an ankle surgery the team felt he didn't need. The Knicks eventually banned Marbury from all games and practices in December of 2008. New York bought him out 2 months later after the trade deadline, and Marbury subsequently signed with the Boston Celtics. So... And also, I'm reading the report right here is that the Kings, the Sacramento Kings, are out on Jimmy Butler. So because of how the way that he's behaving, I don't know how any team at this particular point wants him given his attitude. But I felt like Jimmy, if he wanted to handle himself professionally, he should have just talked to Pat Riley behind closed doors. Do that. You don't have to handle it the same way that James Harden or other players are doing it. I feel like if you want to handle it professionally, handle it behind closed doors. That's what you have to do in that situation. It wouldn't surprise me at all, guys. Jimmy Butler doesn't play a game this season. It wouldn't surprise me because I just don't think he's happy there in Miami. I don't think he's happy with the organization. He's happy with the money. He's happy with South Beach. But in terms of basketball wise, no, he's not. And as a result, he'd rather go elsewhere. But the question is, which team? Because it's Phoenix. I just mentioned that the Kings are out on him. And it says it right here, according to a report from Emick, they do not see Jimmy Butler as the answer. And plus, we've heard about the trades regarding De'Aaron Fox. I just think it wouldn't surprise me at all. Jimmy Butler doesn't play a single basketball game this season.
I will say this, and I know they're not going to do it. I know they're not going to do it. But start looking out for these almighty rumors from the Los Angeles Lakers. Start looking out for them. Because you can rest assured, as sure as I'm sitting here on the day of January the 31st of 2025, you're going to start hearing about, well, the Los Angeles Lakers are looking to make a move to Jimmy Butler. You're going to start hearing it, and the move ain't going to never happen. Mark my word. And if it does, I will take 2 shots live on your show if it happens. But I guarantee you will start hearing these rumors about the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's going to happen like right before the All-Star break. Right before it. It's going to happen. It's going to start happening. It's going to start cooking around next week. I give it to next Wednesday.
I will clip this. I will clip this.
Yeah. You're going to start hearing those Los Angeles Lakers rumors for Jimmy Butler. You're going to start hearing them around next. Let me look at my calendar real quick. You're going to start hearing about them around next Wednesday. And it's going to trickle down all through the All-Star break. Well, rumor has it that the Los Angeles Lakers are looking to add someone to that team. LeBron, you're going to start hearing it. And guess what? All-Star break gonna go and pass, and the trade deadline gonna go and pass, and they're not gonna do anything. But start looking forward to those Laker rumors in order to stay relevant. All of these innuendos and rumors. Round next Wednesday, you're gonna start hearing. I guarantee you.
I don't know if I thought you were gonna pull one, champ, because I thought you wanted to get Jimmy Butler to come to LA. But once you eloquently stated that, I can understand why. It wouldn't surprise me, champ, because you talked about it before last week. Cowboys fans are kind of like Lakers fans.
Yes.
Or the Cowboys organization kind of like the Lakers organization.
Yes. They hot. Look, Coach Hurley, one of the greatest coaches in college, he turned down $70 million in order to come to Los Angeles. We haven't had, like I said on an earlier podcast that we did earlier in the late last year, we haven't had a stable coach that stayed over 5 years since Phil Jackson. So yeah, you're gonna start hearing a lot of these. They're doing the same thing essentially what Dallas is doing, getting who they can because they can't get who they want. So look forward to those little rumors and innuendos, all the little BS talks, the talks that are happening between Miami and the Los Angeles Lakers. Start looking for it. Yeah, we'd love to have him. I think that he would be good there. You know, he provides defense and offense and things of that. He's ball dominant, but I think he would be a good asset, you know, to that team. But the thing is, we're not going to get him. It's going to be a lot of rumor and innuendo, much like with Dallas. They said they was going to hire Dion. Then they said they was going to hire Ben Johnson. Then this guy. And then, lo and behold, boof, nothing.
But you kind of expect that, champ. You kind of expect that because, again, people want to create narratives, which is entertaining. And it gives us something for us to talk about, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if that actually is reported.
Mark my words, you're going to start hearing it. If not by next Wednesday, I give it to Monday. If it don't start happening by tomorrow. But you're going to start hearing all of these rumors and talks about the Los Angeles Lakers, and, you know, you ain't going to bust a grape in a fruit fight. Stop. You're not going to bust a grape in a wine for them. So stop with, don't start. Lakers, you are my team. I am a diehard Lakers fan. But do not start with these innuendos if you're not going to do anything. All of these talks and, you know, we're potentially going to do stuff and all of that little yin-yang. Don't start that. If you're not going to do nothing, then be quiet. That's the best thing that you can do. Because don't be like Jerry Jones, Genie Bus, which you have done already. Build our hopes up in order to get this mega star or this big star, then boom. Remember a couple of years back, I think when Kobe was on his last leg, they built this whole thing up like we was going to get one of the big mega stars that was going to come out. And then come to find out we got Jeremy Lin and Carlos Boozer when they was on their last leg. So, yeah, we know you ain't from the bust a grape, Los Angeles Lakers. So go ahead and put your rumors out because we know you're going to do that because you're the Super Bowl. You're the superstar team in the NBA. But in reality, you're not doing it.
All right.